Hello friends, I hope you and your families are doing good. I am Priyanka Purohit from Shadi Samriddhi Guidance SSG. I am also a CA final student like you all. I hope you all are liking this series of accounting standards. So today we are going to start with a new Accounting Standard 9, Revenue Recognition. So let's start it. The statement deals with the basis for recognition of revenue in the statement of P&L of an enterprise. The statement is concerned with recognition of revenue arising in the course of ordinary activities of the enterprise from sale of goods, rendering of services, and by use by others of enterprise resources yielding interest, royalties, and dividends. So, Accounting Standard 19 is concerned with recognition of revenue in the course of ordinary activities of the enterprise only. The revenue will be recognized from sale, services, or interest, royalty, and dividend. The common factors to all three types of revenue are: can we measure the revenue or consideration, and are we sure or certain that the amount will be received? That is about the collectability and measurement. So, can we measure the revenue, and can we be sure or certain that it will be received or not? In case quantification or collectability is uncertain, then postpone the recognition of revenue. In case uncertainty arises, later make a provision but do not adjust the revenue. So, the two conditions which will be common for all types of revenue is: can we measure it, and is the revenue certain? So, if quantification, that is collectability, is uncertain, then we can either postpone the recognition of revenue. And if uncertainty occurs after we have already recognized the revenue, we cannot reverse the revenue, but we have to make a provision for it. This statement does not deal with following aspects. So, revenue recognition AS9 will not apply in following four cases: if revenue is arising from construction contracts, that is AS7 is specifically applicable for it; revenue arising from hire purchase or lease agreement, because AS19 is specifically there for it; revenue arising from government grants and other similar subsidies, since AS12 is existing for it; and lastly, revenue from insurance company arising from insurance contract, that is insurance premium, will not be covered under AS9, since insurance company have to follow the IRDA regulations, that is the Insurance Act. Revenue means the gross inflow of cash, receivable, or other consideration arising in the course of ordinary activities of an enterprise from sale of goods, rendering of service, interest, royalty, and dividend. This we have already studied earlier also. In any agency relationship, amount of commission is the revenue and not the gross amount of cash receivable or other consideration. So, if there exists any agency relationship, that is, one person is selling and other one is just acting as his agent and giving all the proceeds of revenue, and all the risk are again concerned with that first person only, and this second person is only acting as an agent and will incur or earn only the commission, then in such case commission is the revenue and not the gross amount of cash receivable or other consideration. Some examples of items which are not included within the definition of revenue for the purpose of this accounting standard are profit on sale or profit on revaluation of fixed asset. Any profit on sale or revaluation of fixed asset won't be considered as revenue for AS9, because it is not in, first of all, it is not in an ordinary course of business. So, it also AS10 is specifically there to deal with such situations. Unrealized holding gains resulting from change in value of current assets and the natural increase in herds and agricultural and forest products. Similarly, any unrealized holding gains resulting from change in the value of current assets, as well as in case of herds or agricultural forest products, AS9 is not applicable. Realized or unrealized gain resulting from change in foreign exchange rates and adjustment arising on translation of foreign currency financial statement. So, in case you have made a sale to a foreign country and foreign customer, and it is standing, it was a credit sale, and so you are having a debtor on the closing date, but the rates are either increased or decreased, the foreign exchange rate. So, that particular portion of gain or loss, unrealized gain or loss, will not be accounted as per accounting standard 9, but it will be recognized as per accounting standard 11. Lastly, any profit on settlement or revaluation of a liability won't be considered or accounted as per AS 9. This point we have already covered earlier. Now we will move on to the next point. In a transaction involving sale of good, performance should be regarded as being achieved when the following conditions have been fulfilled. So in case when we are selling goods, so performance would be achieved only when the following two conditions are fulfilled, because the condition here is with and in between. So first condition is the seller of the goods has transferred to the buyer the property in goods for a price or all significant risk and rewards. This is an important keyword in this accounting standard, that the seller has transferred all risk and rewards of ownership to the buyer, and the buyer retains no effective control of the goods transferred to a degree usually associated with ownership. So the main word you have to remember in this particular case is that the first condition is the seller has transferred all significant risk and rewards of ownership to buyer, and it doesn't retain any effective control. And the other condition is no significant uncertainty exists regarding the amount of consideration that will be derived from the sale of goods. So the amount can be determined exactly, and there is no uncertainty regarding the amount of consideration. The consideration can be computed or ascertained accurately. Then if and only if both these conditions satisfy simultaneously, then only the performance would be regarded as achieved and sale would be recognized. Now we will look into some examples for accounting standard 9, that is when we can recognize the revenue and what will be the process. So the first case is delivery is delayed at buyer's request and the buyer takes title and accepts billing. So in this case, an example can be that you went to a shop and you purchased the item and you also paid the money. You just told the shopkeeper that you will be back in say 3 or 4 hours and you will take the delivery. So you told the seller just to keep it with them and you will take it later on in 3-4 hours. So can they recognize this revenue? So the answer is yes, they can recognize the revenue, since the item must be on hand. That is, the item which you want to buy, they already have it and it is identified, and that it's ready for delivery to the buyer at the time the sale is recognized. So since the item is readily deliverable, it would be recognized as sale. But if you for example, you went to the shop and you want to purchase the latest iPhone, but the shopkeeper doesn't have any access to the latest iPhone as of now, and he says that you will be delivered it soon. So in that case, even if you pay him the entire money for the iPhone, he cannot recognize this transaction as revenue, because the item is not in his hand and it is not ready for delivery at that particular point of time. Moving on to the next part, delivery is subject to certain conditions. So now we will look into some conditions one by one. The first being installation and inspection, that is, goods are sold subject to installation and inspection. So in this case, for example, we can take some goods can be accepted, that is, the sale is completed only and only if they are installed and inspection is done properly. For example, you can say that you are purchasing a machine for your factory and it cannot be treated as a completed sale transaction until and unless the seller does the installation and you can inspect, that is, you can try that machine for some time, then only the sale will be completed. But if say you are purchasing a TV set of, let us say, a branded company like of Sony, where there are very least chances of being it defective, so the sale is completed as and when the good is you make the payment and the good is delivered. So there is no need of installation and inspection. So let us see into the answer condition first. Revenue not to be recognized until the customer accepts the delivery and installation and inspection are complete. In some cases, however, installation process may be so simple in nature that it may be inappropriate it may be appropriate to recognize the sale notwithstanding that installation is not yet completed. Example, installation of a factory tested television receiver normally only requires unpacking and connecting of power and antenna. So there is no need for a person to specifically visit your premise and do the installation and inspection in this case. The next condition is sale on approval basis. So revenue should not be recognized until the goods have been formally accepted by the buyer, or the buyer has done an act adopting the transaction, or the time period for rejection has elapsed, or where no time has been fixed, a reasonable time has been elapsed. So for example, when goods are sent on approval basis, then the seller cannot recognize revenue until the buyer has formally accepted it. Say you bought a book and you mention your name on it, then it cannot be regarded as a sale on approval basis, because you have already used it, you have already mentioned your name on it. So it will be recognized as a revenue on that situation only. The buyer has done any act adopting the transaction, or time period for rejection has elapsed. Let us say that sale on approval basis was done for 10 days. Either approve the sale in 10 days, or you can return back the product. So that period has elapsed, then you can, as a seller, you can recognize the revenue. Or if no time was fixed, that is no time was mentioned, then you can wait for some reasonable time, and after it has elapsed, then you can recognize the revenue. The next point is guaranteed sales, that is delivery is made giving the buyer an unlimited right to return. So let's say you can use the product and there is no time limit to return the product. Sometimes there is a 1 year or 2 year, or let's say 10 to 15 years of right to return policy. Then what is to be the criteria of recognizing the, let us see that recognition of revenue in such circumstances will depend on the substance of the agreement. In case the retail sale offering guarantee of money back if not completely satisfied, it may be appropriate to recognize the sale, but to make a suitable provision for return based on the previous experience. So let us say you are a seller and you have sold a product with money back if not completely satisfied, and there is no particular time limit, that is, it is unlimited right of return. So will you not recognize the revenue at all? Will you wait for unlimited period of time and will be waiting for the person to return the product, and then only you will recognize or not recognize the revenue? No. In such case, where money back if not completely satisfied or unlimited right of return is given, the sale would be recognized. But on the basis of previous experience, we have to make a suitable provision for returns. Next point is consignment sale, that is delivery is made whereby the recipient undertakes to sell the goods on behalf of the consignor. So in case of consignment sales, which we have already studied in our CPT, that is our happy days scenario. So what are consignment sale, you already must know. So in that case, revenue should not be recognized until the goods are sold to the third party. The next and the last is cash on delivery sales. So this is the mostly used form of condition for cash on delivery on sales. So revenue should not be recognized until cash is received by the seller or his agent. So until and unless cash is received, you cannot recognize the revenue. The next is sale, where the purchaser makes a series of installment payments to the seller and the seller delivers the goods only when the final payment is received. So in case when the purchaser makes a series of payment to the seller and the seller delivers goods only after the final payment is received, so in such case revenue from such transaction should be recognized until goods are delivered, should not be recognized until goods are delivered. So until and unless goods are delivered, which are delivered on the final payment, when the final payment is received, the revenue should not be recognized. However, when experience indicates that most such sales have been consummated, revenue may be recognized with a significant deposit when a significant deposit is received. So in case due to your past experience, you are very certain that the revenue will be sales would be consummated, then only if you have received a significant deposit, then you can recognize the revenue. Special order and shipments, that is where payment or partial payment is received for goods not presently held in stock. Example, stock is still to be manufactured or is to be delivered directly to the consumer from a third party. So either you are the manufacturer and you have to make a particular item and then it will be ready for sale, or you don't have currently you don't have any product in your hand, but you will get it from a third party and then you will sell it directly to the customer. So in cases of special order and shipment, how will you recognize the revenue? Revenue from such sales should not be recognized until goods are manufactured, identified and ready for delivery to the buyer. So until goods are manufactured and they are identified and they are to ready for delivery to the buyer by the third party, until this stage is established, you cannot recognize the revenue. The next case is of sale or repurchase agreement, that is sale and leaseback, like you have heard on in AS 19 also, sale and leaseback. Here also the transaction is sale and repurchase agreement, where a seller concurrently agrees to repurchase the same goods at a later date. So in such transactions, the that are in substance of financial agreement. You don't consider it as an operating agreement but a financing agreement, because it's just aiding the financial purpose. So the resulting cash flow is not a revenue as per AS9, but and hence it should not be recognized as a revenue. So such transactions are out of the purview of AS9. Sales to intermediate parties, that is where goods are sold to distributor, dealers or others for resale. So say you are there is a supply chain management and you are at the top of the company, and then you are selling it to the other one, and then he is again selling to the other party. So if this person, the first person, the middleman, is acting as the principal, then the revenue will be recognized at that point of only. But if the intermediary is acting as agent for the particular transaction, then the revenue would be recognized only when the intermediary sells it to the final user. So let us read it from here. Revenue from such sales can be generally recognized if significant risk of ownership have passed. However, in some situations, the buyer may be in substance an agent, and in such case, the sale should be recognized and treated as consignment sale. So the consignment sale wala part will be applicable here also. The next one is subscription for publications. So in case of subscription for publications, revenue received or billed should be deferred. Let us say you have subscribed to a particular magazine and for 3 years, then revenue would be recognized in should be deferred and would be recognized on straight line basis over a period of time. That is, it would be apportioned over the duration of the entire duration. Where the items delivered vary in value from period to period, revenue should be based on sales value of the item delivered in relation to the total sales. So if the consideration vary from period to period, then you have to make the then you have to recognize the revenue on that basis only. The next one is installment sales. Revenue attributable to the sales price exclusive of interest should be recognized at the date of sale, and the interest and event should be recognized as revenue proportionately to the unpaid balance due to the seller. So in case of installment sales, like either instead of borrowing loan from the bank or financial institution, you are borrowing loan from the seller, and that you are taking it on EMI, let us say, then any price that is a revenue attributable to the actual sale price. Let's say you have purchased the item of worth rupees 100 lakhs, but after making the installment, after making the payment of interest, the entire cost would be 1,50,000. So that 1 lakh part is the sales part, sales revenue. So this should be recognized at the date of sale, but the 50 lakhs, that is 150 minus 100 lakhs, this will be the interest element, and it should be recognized as revenue proportionately to the unpaid balance due to the seller. In that proportion, it has to be recognized. The next point is regarding trade discount and volume rebates. So in case of trade discount and volume rebates, these should be deducted in determining the revenue. So while calculating the revenue and recognizing the revenue, you have to deduct this. You have to subtract this from the revenue amount. So now by this we have completed the sales portion of accounting standard 19. Now we will move on to the next part, that is the services, rendering of services. So In a transaction involving rendering of services, performance should be measured either under the completed service contract method or under the proportionate completion method. So, in case of recording the revenue from rendering of services, there are particularly two methods. The first one being the completed service contract method, which means that say you have booked your cinema tickets, movie tickets on 1st of April 2000 on 1st of April, and the movie will release on 4th of April. So when will the cinema or the theater will recognize this revenue? Only and only when the movie is actually released, that is on 4th of April and not on 1st of April when you have made the advance booking. And the next one is the proportionate completion basis. So an example for this can be, let's say, a performance by a famous actor was organized on two dates, that is 31st March as well as on 1st of April. So the revenue is extended in two particular years. So in this case, how will you recognize the revenue? So in such case, the revenue will be recognized on proportionate completion basis, that is half, some portion will be recognized on 31st March and the other portion will be recognized on 1st of April according to the proportion of its completion. So there are two methods, the completed service contract method as well as proportionate completion method, whichever related to the revenue of work to the work accomplished. Such performance should be regarded as being achieved when no significant uncertainty exists regarding the amount of consideration that will be derived from the service is rendered. So here also you have to, that in sales there were two conditions, that the revenue should be measurable and it will be certain to receive the consideration. And in this services of rendering, one condition is that no significant uncertainty exists regarding the amount of consideration. Some examples can be here. Installation fees. In case where installation fees or are other than incidental to the sale of product, they should be recognized as revenue only when the equipment is installed and accepted by the customer. So in case of installation fees, only if it is installed and accepted by the customer and it is other than incidental to the sale of revenue, means you are only doing the installation work and you are not actually selling the product, then the revenue would be recognized only if it is installed and accepted by the customer. Next is the advertising and insurance agency commission. So advertising is okay, but you might have a doubt regarding the insurance agency commission. So I will tell you, because in earlier part we have already studied that AS9 is not applicable for insurance companies, because it is not applicable to insurance company, but to insurance agent it is applicable for their commission part. So revenue should be recognized when the service is completed, and for advertising agency, media commissions will be recognized when the related advertisement or commercial appears before the public. So the important word is here is appear before the public, and the necessary intimation is received by the agency. Then and only then the revenue will be recognized. And in case of insurance agency commission, it should be recognized on the effective commencement or the renewal dates of the related policy. So when the client has made the payment for renewal, then only from that date your commission will be recognized. You can recognize the commission. So this has completed the services part. Now we will move on to the last part, that is the revenue arising from the use by others of enterprise resources yielding interest, royalties and dividend should be recognized when no significant uncertainty as to measurement or collectibility exists. So here also both the conditions are that it should be measurable and collectible. That is, no significant uncertainty as to measurability and collectibility exists. These revenue are recognized on the following basis. Interest is recognized on time proportion basis, taking into account the amount outstanding and the interest rate applicable. Similarly, royalties are recognized on accrual basis according to the terms of relevant agreement. In case of dividend from investment in shares, when the owner's right to receive payment is established, that is when the dividends are declared by the company, then the owner's right to receive payment is established and then they have to be recognized. In addition to the disclosure required by accounting standard 1, that is disclosure on accounting policies, an enterprise should also disclose the circumstances in which revenue recognition has been postponed pending the resolution of significant uncertainties. So, in addition to any disclosure requirement which are mentioned in Accounting Standard 1, as per AS9, they also have to mention the reasons for which significant due to significant uncertainties, revenue recognition has been postponed. So by this we have completed the concept part of the Accounting Standard 9. I hope you all are liking this series and it's of some help to you all in solving your questions. Now we will look into the practice manual and the study material questions. Now for questions part, please refer the another video, that is part 2. Thank you.